name is Andy, and this is the most magical podcast on earth. When I'm not on holiday at Walt Disney World, I'm planning a holiday to Disney. And when I'm not planning a holiday to Disney, I'm talking about Disney with other UK fans like me who make the trip to Orlando and the House of the Mouse. So whether you're a parks professional or a Florida first-timer, this is the podcast for you. Each episode, I'll be chatting to other Disney superfans to share memories of their magical times, answering your Walt Disney World questions, getting you all the latest news from the parks, and finding out what's happening right now in Orlando. So get your ears on as we take you to the most magical place on earth. This is the most magical podcast on earth as part of the Secret Recordings Network. We're going to be catching up with Marc on this episode of the podcast. He's an animator. He was kind of like influenced by Disney in the park. So we'll catch up with him and we'll get his story very soon. And of course, we've got loads of top tips. We'll get the latest news for you and answering your questions. If you're off to Walt Disney World very soon, any questions, do drop me a message. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram or TikTok. We are at Pod Magical. Hello to Sophie, who is currently looking at booking. She says, Andy, is it worth paying the extra to stay at a deluxe resort, for example, Grand Floridian or the Yacht and Beach Club, when you can still have the deluxe experience and go to Grand Destino Tower at Coronado Springs? That is a very good question. Coronado Springs is a moderate resort, so it's much cheaper, although they've got that brand new Destino Tower, which I've never actually been, but it does remind me of like a Las Vegas hotel, and it is apparently very beautiful. They've got some good restaurants in there as well. The only difference is, with staying in a moderate resort, you're kind of probably getting the same hotel room experience, but you're not getting the deluxe experience. The thing is with Yacht and Beach or the Grand Floridian, you're in walking distance to the parks. Grand Flow, you can walk or get the monorail to Magic Kingdom. Yacht and Beach is on the doorstep of Epcot. You can walk to Hollywood Studios. And also as well, staying at a deluxe resort, a couple of times a week, you get extended hours. So you'll get a couple of hours extra at Epcot or Magic Kingdom as well. So there's some of the perks of staying at the deluxe resorts. But in terms of, if you just kind of like want a deluxe experience in the room, you're not really bothered about the parks, then yeah, you can save yourself a few quid. You can go to Coronado Springs. The bus that goes round might take quite a while if you're relying on the Disney transport. It takes quite a while because it is a moderate resort, and Coronado Springs itself is a big resort. But Grand Destino Tower, part of Coronado Springs, is very nice. I know people who've stayed there and they have loved it. So yeah, have a look. That's the only difference, and it will save you a little bit of money. Any questions? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at PodMagical. If you'd like to be a podcast guest, get in touch. Time for another podcast guest to chat Walt Disney World, and it's somebody actually who has been inspired by Disney to do what he does for a living now. So let's say hello to Marc. Welcome to the podcast, Marc.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
And you've only just come back from Walt Disney World, so we'll find out about your recent trip in just a moment. But work. So what do you do, and why has Disney inspired you to do what you do?
So, well, I'm a freelance illustrator,
right?
And I sell my own prints, my own cards, stationery, that sort of thing. But I ended up doing that because I finished a contract as an animator for CBeebies, and it was being in a Disney park that inspired me to train to be an animator. So I was actually in Disneyland Paris, and you know the attraction they have where you kind of sit at a little studio booth and you draw one of the characters and they show you how to draw them.
I do. You can do that over Animal Kingdom as well, can't you? I'm terrible at it.
Yeah, you can over Rafiki's little spot. But yeah, so I was drawing away, and I had like that moment, you know, in Harry Potter when he gets his wand, and it's like that. Whoa! I had a moment of, I need to be doing this. Why aren't I doing this? Because I've always drawn, I've always created art. I went to art school and things like that. And I just thought I need to become an animator. So I immediately signed up for an online animation course. And then I ended up on a course down at Ardman in Bristol. And then I got a job on CBeebies. Oh. And then the next time I went back to Disney, I was an animator. So it was like a very strange but very exciting and really fun full circle moment.
Would the dream be to work for Disney as a Disney animator?
My dream would be to work for Disney as an artist. Right. I'd love to help create the designs of the characters, the look, the visual concepts, that sort of thing. And I would really, really love to be part of the Wonderground Gallery. You know, the galleries they have at Disney Springs, kind of all dotted throughout the parks. Oh, I'd love to be amongst all the amazing artists there. That would be the dream.
Maybe one day.
Dreams can happen.
Of course they can.
Disney keeps reminding us.
Of course they can. So how was your latest trip then? Did all your dreams come true on your holiday?
Yeah, all the dreams came true. Yeah, it was lovely. It was just amazing being back, because we were supposed to go in 2020. Obviously that didn't happen. They got postponed to the year after. That didn't happen. And so it just felt like almost like a sense of relief as well of it actually happening. And just kind of being amongst the magic again. It was everything we needed it to be.
Brilliant. And I guess that first sense of relief is when you have the negative COVID test and you can actually get on the plane.
Oh, 100%. Because it kind of stops a little bit of the excitement. Because normally, in other times, you'd be so excited about the build-up and 5 days ago, 4 days ago.
Yeah.
But every time we did that, it was, well, hopefully 4 days to go. Let's try and keep in isolation a little bit, avoid people.
Yeah.
And once we get the test, then we get excited. It was very strange. But yeah, it was a relief of getting that COVID-free test.
And then you flew. You were business class? You flew over business class?
Yeah, we went business class. It was amazing. We were lucky enough to get so Chris, my husband, has this credit card where you can get companion vouchers, essentially like a buy one get one free.
Yeah.
And then we had loads of air miles because we've been saving them up for the last 2 years, and yeah, it all just worked out really nicely, and it was such the perfect way to ease yourself into the magic.
And where did you stay?
We stayed at the Caribbean beach resort.
Cool.
Which is, yeah. So we hadn't stayed there before. So we did the deal. The deal we bought, we actually bought it in April 2021, or was it May 2021? Anyway, where you get the welcome basket, the gift vouchers, and the dining credit.
Yeah.
But to do that, you had to stay in a pirate room in the Caribbean beach resort, which we weren't super keen on.
No.
Neither of us are massive pirate fans in any way, shape or form, but we thought it's fine. We'll get the deal, figuring that as we get closer to the holiday, we have to switch rooms or something. But there was no switching of any rooms. And we tried a couple of times to try and change rooms. Not as, there's nothing wrong with a pirate room, but it just wasn't our taste. And there was just nothing available. We tried a week before, on the day at the desk. There was just nothing else available. And we thought it was fine. It was fine. It was fine.
It's Disney, isn't it? I think they're getting rid of those pirate rooms, aren't they, at Caribbean Beach? I think they're phasing them out.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was fine. It was fine.
And you've got the Skyliner there, and you've got Riviera on your doorstep. Did you use Riviera quite a lot?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so we did go a couple of times actually, because we went to the little cafe there, but also we had a reservation at Topolinos Terrace for breakfast.
Yes.
And so we were able to walk over. But where our room was, we were right opposite the Spyglass Grill, and literally just across the bridge from the Skyliner. So our location was actually perfect for getting around, so getting the Skyliner to Hollywood Studios and also Epcot. It was, we actually couldn't have asked for better in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'd go over to Riviera, which was lovely. It's such a lovely resort. Yeah, so it was nice having that just there.
So let's talk about why you love Walt Disney World. Is it because of the animation connection, or is there something else that draws you to it? This is something I've thought long and hard about for such a long time, since I started listening to your podcast. When you said, like, what is it? And I find it really hard to pinpoint it. But I listened to a podcast yesterday with Stephanie Beatrice from Encanto, who plays Mirabelle. Yes.
And she put it really beautifully. She said the thing that she loves about Disney is whenever she goes, she becomes a time traveler. And I totally get what she says. So whatever park you're in, you get a moment where you see a story that you're familiar with, and it takes you right back to where you were when you first met that story.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time. I think that's it. It's the storytelling everywhere. And invariably you're connected to so many of those stories. It feels so familiar, and it's yeah, you get that feeling of, I remember when I first saw that film, and do you remember we went to see this at cinema? And there's so many of those moments. It is like you become a little time traveler, and you're going back to all those moments again and again and again. And that is definitely part of the magic and part of the appeal. Because I don't feel that at Universal. I don't feel connected to Universal in any way. Although they have the films, I don't know, I'm just not bothered about it. But I just have so many more memories invested in Disney, and every time we go, they all just come back. Yeah. And you just fall in love with Disney over and over and over again. It's magic.
When was the first time you went there? When was your first trip?
The first time we went was, I never went as a kid. I'm an adult Disney first timer. Me and my husband, we were living in America. It's in about 2008. We were living in Ohio, and Chris's family came over for a trip. I think they got on a cruise or something, kind of in the Miami area. And we figured, well, as we're now in the same country, why don't we meet up? And so they had some timeshare. And so we went to Animal Kingdom and the Magic Kingdom just for 2 days, just a little weekend trip. And that was the first time I ever went to a Disney park, because Chris had been going for years and years and years as a kid. And so for me, it was something that I'd never actually experienced until I was like in my mid-20s. Yeah. Yes, I was quite late on in life, but yeah, it's
the best things come to those who wait, and it was worth the wait.
It's never too late to join the magic.
What do you remember about that first trip?
The first trip, I remember it being quite busy, as in we had a schedule. We needed to get to the attractions and the rides, but it was just constantly, my breath was taken away so many times, like seeing the castle, seeing the Haunted Mansion, seeing all these things that I'd just seen on telly and from catalogues in the 90s. You go to the travel agents, you walk past and you see all their Disney displays, and all those memories kind of still stayed within me, although I hadn't actually been to a park. And actually seeing them, it's like, this. And then I was so excited about Animal Kingdom as well, because I was I still am a massive Lion King fan. And it just being all around you, Animal Kingdom, it was just constantly feeling surprised and shocked and happy and overwhelmed, and those are kind of my memories of the very first time.
Let's talk about some of your favourite things then. Let's start with food. Where are your favourite places to eat? I'm guessing you did a lot of eating on your last trip.
Yeah, we did. We made quite a few reservations actually. A few restaurants, and I think the one I'd recommend, well, I got two recommendations actually. I'd really, really recommend the Skipper Canteen at Magic Kingdom, because I feel it's kind of a little bit goes under the radar. And because when people seem to talk about Magic Kingdom dining, invariably Be Our Guest comes up, and those kind of big name ones. But yeah, the Skipper Canteen, if you're a fan of the Jungle Cruise and puns and that sort of world, the Skipper Canteen, it was so fun. And it was the first restaurant we went to on our first day. We went there for lunch, and our servers were just, they kept telling us jokes, and there's just so much to look at, and went for a wander around their little library section, and there's just jokes everywhere, all the book titles, and the food was lovely. It was a really great experience. I really recommend the Skipper Canteen.
What did you have there?
I think I had the Thai noodles. I was actually just looking it up before I came on to talk to you, because I can't quite remember. I think it was a jasmine Thai noodles, because they haven't got a huge menu. But they do have some secret items. If you ask for secret items, they will tell you what they are. Because we had these kind of, I think they're like bolitas, like little cheesy dough balls, which aren't on the menu. But yeah, it was really great. And I'd also really, really recommend the Brown Derby over at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, I like it there.
We had a great time there. And I had to go for the Cobb salad. I hadn't had the Cobb salad before. Everyone talks about the Cobb salad. Yeah. And it totally lived up to its hype, in my opinion. It was great. It was really great. And we had margarita flights, and yeah, it was lovely.
Living the dream. Did you eat in the restaurant, or did you eat outside in the lounge? Because I love, while the weather's nice, just sitting outside, because it's the same menu.
Yeah. So we did. We sat in the lounge. It was a really lovely day, and we just happened to kind of finish the attractions and rides by just before 11. And so we literally just went up and queued, and we got a table straight away. And so we our strategy when we were out there was to have like an early lunch to try and avoid the crowds, so kind of around 11, half 11, and then we'd have like snacks kind of around 2 or 3, take us through to like a dinner time. But yeah, we went to the lounge 11 o'clock, and it was great. Because where we were sat as well, we were as well as people watching, we saw the characters, because characters kept coming out. Chip and Dale were just on the grass.
They're right outside there,
like opposite us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And the servers were really lovely, and yeah, a great time.
Did you check the autograph book? Because they've got a signing in book there with loads of celebrities, and it's on a different page every day. Last time I went, it was Mariah Carey.
Good old Mariah. Yeah, we did. Well, so I knew about the book because there's drag queen Nina West. She went there because she's a massive Disney fan. She went there a few months ago, and I followed her on Instagram. And I saw that she had signed the book. And so I went to have a little look for the book, but obviously it's behind glass. And so I asked the manager if we could see Nina's page, because it's coming out to Pride Month. Yeah. And, it was let's make some more magic. And Nina West was our kind of local drag queen when we lived in Columbus. So for the first time I went to Disney in the late 2007, 2008. And so I thought, well, let's get a bit of Columbus, let's get a bit of our American home here too. So we got them to change the book with the cover, and they were so friendly and kind about it, because I thought I was being really cheeky by asking them, could we have any chance to have a look at this? And we'll go and get the other book. And we were able to tell them what page number she was on, because
you already knew.
Yeah, we were ready. We knew what to do. And so it was. Then we had our photos taken with the book, and Nina messaged us. It was just really really lovely moment. Represent.
And what about your favourite attraction?
This is a really tricky one, because I've got so many number ones. I feel like I had to divide them up into categories. So I think my favourite attraction is Rise of the Resistance. Because this trip was the first time we'd been on Rise of the Resistance, and I'm not really a Star Wars fan. I mean, I don't know, it just doesn't really speak to me. I like the last 3 films with Rey and Kylo Ren. I like those. Yeah. But Rise of the Resistance, all right, let's go on it. But it blew my mind, like the way they handled the queue, because don't give away too many spoilers. I'm sure they're all out there already. But the attraction kind of starts whilst you're in the queue, and then you go through and you go through the next bit, then the next bit. And I thought we were in for like a Remy's Ratatouille style ride, where just going around on the floor quite slowly and like nipping into like 3D bits. But it was so much more. It was incredible. So impressed. I loved it.
Was Guardians open, the new Guardians attraction, or did you just miss that?
That one is my favourite roller coaster. So we were lucky enough to be there on the day that it opened.
Oh right.
And so we managed to get into a virtual queue, the boarding group, to get on the ride, because the park was crazy on that day, as you might expect. And so at 7 o'clock we were ready to join the virtual queue, and we got in the queue, which I was really surprised about. I was using the Adam Hatton trick when he was trying to get a Ride of Resistance, where we had the device which had like the time on with a clock. So as soon as it got down to 7:00, we were hitting the button to refresh to get in the virtual queue. And yes, we got into a virtual queue that gave us our kind of boarding time about 1:30. But throughout the course of the morning, that time just got earlier and earlier, and we ended up getting on at 11 o'clock. And yeah, it's such a great ride. It's so joyful. I just had a smile on my face throughout the whole thing. It's just brilliant. It's so nicely created and imagined.
Have you got another favourite attraction? So you've got a favourite roller coaster, favourite attraction. Have you got like a favourite show or fireworks? I'm letting you have this, Marc.
I think my favourite, in terms of like fireworks, that sort of thing, I would take a parade over the fireworks. Yeah. We saw Enchantment and Harmonious, which are both great. But I don't know, there's something about parades. When we had is it the Flight of Fantasy? What's it called?
The Festival of Fantasy.
Festival of Fantasy, that's it. It's just the characters are all there in their world, but they engage with you. There's just something about it's a bunch of adults waving at people in costumes.
No,
it's magic. It's when you think about it, what's going on? But it's just something takes over, and with their waving away all the characters, they come over and like, because Chris and I had our like pride ears on, so we had a rainbow ears.
Yeah.
And so many characters pointing at us and making the gestures of ears and like hearts with their hands, and we're just so moved.
Yeah,
it was just I would take a parade over fireworks any day.
If only life was like that. You know, you could just walk down the street and there would come some fabulous float with your favourite Disney characters on, just outside Starbucks. It'd be great, wouldn't it, if life was really like that all the time?
It would be. It'd be a magical place. I don't know why that doesn't happen, to be honest. I'm sure people can make that happen.
So Caribbean Beach is where you stayed last time. Would you say that's your favourite resort?
It was okay. I wouldn't say it's my favourite resort.
No.
We enjoyed being there. It was very, very convenient.
Yeah.
I would absolutely recommend people to go there for all the connections with the Skyliner and the facilities that are there. But our last trip in 2015, we stayed at the Art of Animation, and there was just something about that resort. We just loved it. It's still on the Skyliner. And we went over there this trip for lunch. We went to visit, and it was very, very, very busy. But there's just something about being amongst the animation just that little bit more with all the big statues outside all the different hotel areas. It feels like an extension of the parks, which you just don't get in many other resorts. I mean, obviously the other resorts sometimes do character meet and greets, and there are touches of Disney here and there too, obviously, but it feels like you're really immersed in the world of Disney even further at the Art of Animation. But yeah, I think if we were to go again, and if we were to stay on property, I'd like to try and stay somewhere if it's in our budget. So I like the Riviera because it's still on the Skyliner, but it's just lovely, and it smells really nice. Yeah,
it smells new.
Yeah, it's just just love it. Nice. Everyone's so friendly. It was just it's great. Really like the Riviera.
Marc is on the podcast. We'll talk about Genie Plus soon because you've used that, and your perfect Disney day. We'll be back in just a moment. Update from the parks. Let me just tell you before we get to the news from Walt Disney World. Disneyland, Anaheim, California, the original park, they announced last week that the Main Street Electrical Parade is going to be going away. Now, it's only recently come back, okay? So they said it was here for a limited time. It was there for a limited time. And from the 1st of September, the Main Street Electrical Parade is going to be stopping at Disneyland. This has got me thinking all kinds of things because they added a new float to the end of it. And also, they've got loads of merchandise for the Main Street Electrical Parade, which is also on sale at Walt Disney World. Do you think that the plan is to bring the Main Street Electrical Parade back to Walt Disney World, to the Magic Kingdom? Maybe 1st of October, because we're still celebrating the 50th. It'll be 51 years of Walt Disney World in October this year. Do you think they've got another announcement tucked up their sleeve? Maybe D23 they'll tell us, or am I just speculating? I just wanted to share that with you to see what you thought. Actual news from Walt Disney World. There's going to be somewhere new to eat at Disney's Boardwalk. The Boardwalk Deli, which is a northeastern style deli, brand new menu of deli sandwiches and breads and bakery items. That's going to be on the Boardwalk. They've also got the work that's already started on the ESPN bar. That's going to be like a brand new bakery restaurant that's going to be opening at Boardwalk. There's a bit of a refurb going on of that resort. And Boardwalk, of course, is just on the doorstep to Epcot. If you come in through the Skyliner, through the International Gateway, have a little moment and spend a bit of time around the Boardwalk. Talking of places to eat, ever been to Victoria and Albert's, the very, very swanky restaurant at Disney's Grand Floridian in Spa? It reopens on July the 28th with a brand new interior that Disney Park shared with us this week. Opulence at an opulent price. And finally, big news about Magic Band Plus. We've been hearing about the Magic Band Plus for a couple of years now. It is going to make its debut at Walt Disney World on July the 27th. It's like your regular Magic Band. It does the things like getting you in the room and getting you in the parks, but it's got a few extra features. It's got colour-changing lights. It vibrates. And, of course, it interacts with the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary Fab 50 character collection, which is around the parks. So next time you go to Walt Disney World, will you be spending the extra cash and getting the Magic Band Plus? Keep up to date with any news that's coming over from Walt Disney World on our socials: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, @PodMagical. Marc is just back from Walt Disney World, so I want to find out all about Genie Plus. Did you use it first of all? Did it work for you? Thoughts?
Yeah. So we were able to pre-book it. I actually got it as a birthday gift for me and Chris. We've got Genie Plus added onto our whole stay for the 2 weeks.
Yeah, look at you. Can't do that anymore.
No, it's different now, isn't it? It's,
you can't do it.
Like a day by day.
Going to get it on the day.
And it's certainly reduced an element of anxiety about getting onto some attractions, but we still had the sort of anxiety of having to rope drop to get on some of the ones that aren't in Genie Plus.
Yeah.
We found Genie Plus really great for Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, but in the Animal Kingdom and Epcot, not quite so much. And so, yeah, I think if you were to dip into trying out Genie Plus, and if it's in your budget to do so, give it a go in Magic Kingdom, because you can only book one every 2 hours.
Yeah.
There's that sort of limit. If you have a lightning lane booked for, say, 9 o'clock in the morning, and as soon as you tap into that ride, you can start finding your next lightning lane.
Yeah.
And so the strategy that we started using was we had lightning lanes really early on in the day, as soon as we can. Then as soon as we tapped in, we'd find the next one. And quite often, the big hitter rides like Slinky Dog Dash, let's say it's 10 o'clock in the morning, the only time you get would be 6 p.m., something like that. And that was like the earliest one. But if you keep refreshing your screen, occasionally you'll catch someone's cancellation. And so we would, I think we were on, I think it was like Mickey's train. And as soon as we tapped in, we just kept refreshing our screen. And then we managed to get like an 11 o'clock Slinky Dog Dash.
That's good.
And so you can make it work. The only problem with that is that you do become a slave to your phone on your device.
This is the thing, yeah.
So if you're happy with that, if you're comfortable to do that, and you want to do all those rides and keep refreshing your screen, then go for it. But if you just want to kind of book a lightning lane every couple of hours, just put a timer on. So at 7 o'clock in the morning, you can book your first lightning lane, but you can't book your second one until 2 hours after the park opens. Yeah. And so it might not be about 11 o'clock or so till you can book your next one, unless you have a lightning lane booked like 9:30 or something like that, then you can do your next one. And so it's useful if you want to maybe try and get 3 or 4 lightning lanes booked throughout the course of the day. But on our first day in Magic Kingdom, I mean, we were lucky enough, we met with family. And so we were family in the park, and they were pros with Genie Plus. And by 2 o'clock, we had ridden like 7 attractions, including all the 4 mountains, including Splash Mountain in the mountains. 7 Dwarfs Mine Train, sorry. And we also did Jungle Cruise and a couple of others as well. And so we'd already done so much by 2 o'clock because of Genie Plus. So yeah, it is a considered purchase. Yeah. But I think if you were going to treat yourself and use it for one time in your whole trip at Disney, I'd probably go for Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios to use it.
If you don't mind being glued to your phone all day. Because last time I used it, it made me feel, it gave me more anxiety because I'm like, I paid for this, I want to get my money's worth. And so you constantly just get the next one.
Yeah, there is certainly an element of that. But I think because we had it for the whole trip, I think we felt less, I think we probably took it for granted a little bit. Whereas I think if we had bought it just for one day, I think that anxiety level would have increased a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, it's taking everything into account. As long as you've got a battery to charge your phone, because you can be using your phone a lot more, go for it. But it's probably doesn't create a nice relaxed thing, absorbing the magic. It takes away from that vibe.
A bit stressful. Did you go over to Universal or SeaWorld or Kennedy or anything like that?
So we had one day at Universal. we went over to Islands of Adventure. So I really wanted to ride the Hagrid motorbike ride and the Velocicoaster.
Yes.
Which we did. And that was our only foray outside of the Disney bubble. Everything else we stayed within Disney.
Was it worth going over there for those rides, would you say?
I think so. I mean, I'm glad I did Hagrid's. I thought it was excellent, but I didn't love it. I've got issues with it, which I'll only talk with people who have been on it, because I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, all right.
They just drove these anyway. But Velocicoaster was incredible. It was amazing. It was so good, because you're only restrained into your lap.
Yeah,
it's this thing comes over your shoulders. And you think, oh, it's fine. I'm kind of strapped in like you are on Rock and Roller Coaster, that type of thing. But it's just covering your lap, and you're doing so many like upside down and loops and things. You think, how twists. Am I just restrained in here? So it's a really bizarre feeling, being so free on a roller coaster. But it was awesome. Really great. Really recommend Velocicoaster.
Now, we've talked about a lot of things you love about Disney. Is there anything that you hate?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. I have issues, with some of the restaurants. So sometimes we went in to a restaurant and sometimes it just feels like you're in a conference room. Like we went into Topolinos Terrace and we got our table and it was literally just a table and 2 chairs. It kind of felt like we're in a weird stop, like a budget place. And I thought, I'm spending so much money with you for this breakfast, and obviously I know we're meeting characters and that's all lovely, but there wasn't anything on the table, and it just felt really sparse. Like there were no plants in the room. It just felt really cold. Like with it kind of, it was very and that happened as well. We went to where did we go? We went to Steakhouse 71, which was lovely. The food is really, really great. Steakhouse 71. But then it just felt really cold. There's no plants. There's not even like knife and fork on your table. It just felt really, I don't know.
Clinical.
It just for the price tag. I don't know what I was expecting, but I felt like it kind of gave me a feeling of, rather than wow.
Yeah, get a tablecloth on. Put something down.
Yeah, or just even one napkin. Just put a couple of napkins on there. That'd be great. But yeah, it's just very odd, but that's fine.
Am I right saying at Topolinos Terrace you can have more than one item off the menu? Because you get charged, isn't it? It's one cost. It's not a buffet, but it's like $45 or something.
Yeah, it's something like that. But yeah, you can have everything on the menu if you want. It's I can't remember what I had actually, but I had extras that kept joining me. Like I had the mushroom omelette as well as whatever I had, but I also had the salmon bagel, and so you can add extra things on, and they do talk you through it. So it felt like as much as you care to enjoy. I don't think they would have said, you can't have that or you can't have this, but they didn't offer us coffee or anything like that. So it was strange. I think for the price tag, I think you'd pay for the characters. I don't think you'd go for a really lovely dining experience. Having said that, it is lovely, but it's not up to the scratch of if you went somewhere where you'd normally be paying that price.
I've had steak there, which I found was really nice. But what I usually do, because their lunch, their breakfast, I think runs to like 1 o'clock. So if you can get it right at the end of the breakfast slot and have the steak, it's kind of it's just a little bit better.
It did all look really nice. And the presentation when it came out was really cute. Like you get a bread basket and a little paint pot, and your knife is in the shape of a paintbrush. So it is nice, but it feels like I wish they'd kind of just stepped up the magic a little bit further.
A little bit more.
I can't be too fussy.
Before you go, Marc, we're going to give you your ideal Walt Disney World day. Now, this is not your only day at Walt Disney World. You're there for a couple of weeks, but what would be your perfect day at Disney World? Where would you be staying? What would you be doing?
Okay, well, I've written a list. I'm going to go through it as quickly as I can. So I'm waking up in the Riviera and I'm going to grab a Joffrey's cold brew, because Joffrey's cold brew is incredible. I'm going to get the Skyliner over to Hollywood Studios. I'm going on Rise, The Resistance, Slinky Dog Dash, Tower of Terror, and I'm going to get a light lunch at the Brown Derby.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go to Epcot. I'm going to go to Club Cool. I'm going to get a Beverly because it's massively underrated, that Beverly. It's delicious. If you like Negroni, if you like Campari, you will love Beverly. It's delicious.
Justice
then
for
I'll
Beverly.
go on Cosmic Rewind.
Yeah.
Then I'll go on Cosmic Rewind. Then I'll get a margarita from the Choza de Margarita in the Mexican Pavilion. Then I'm going to go get some frushi from Hanami. Then I'm going to go back on Cosmic Rewind because there'll be a different song, hopefully. I want to experience 2 songs on there. Then I'm going to go over to Magic Kingdom for the 3 p.m. parade. And I'm going to hang around till the Dapper Dans come out because they are really, really cool as well. Then I'm going to go over to the Grand Floridian and I'm going to go to the spa. I'm going to have a hot stone massage to relax after the busy morning, followed by a champagne afternoon tea in the Garden Tea Room, which we did on our last trip, which was lovely. Then I'm going to go over to the Polynesian, mooch around the boutique, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the evening in the Tambu Lounge, get a Lapu cocktail, and perhaps some little foodo from Mahana and listen to the fireworks. And then I'm going to go to bed in the Polynesian. I'm going to switch resorts.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that sounds a great day. I love that your food was in there. Even your transportation. You're getting from Hollywood to Epcot to Magic Kingdom. No messing around. What a great day, Mark. What an absolute perfect day.
I'll get minivans from
now they're back. Have you got another trip planned, or are you just going to pay off the last one for now and then think about it?
Yeah, well, no trips planned, but we're looking at Disneyland Paris for Halloween. But I really want to get over to Disneyland Tokyo or Tokyo Disneyland because it just looks incredible. So we might do that as another holiday next year. Not sure.
Try and get the 6 castles in.
Yeah, well, we've done Hong Kong, which is awesome, and California. So it's just Shanghai and Tokyo.
Wow. What a dream that would be. Lovely chatting to you.
You too. Thank you so much for having me. I've loved this. It's been great.
And have a magical day, Mark.
You too. Have a magical day.
Fancy joining me on the podcast? One episode for a chat like Marcus? Just drop me a message. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Pod Magical is where we are. If you're going to be going off to Orlando, to Disney World very soon, don't forget to tag us in your photographs. Then we can share them on the socials as well. If you are going, it's going to be hot. It's going to be humid with those thunder and rainstorms. Probably not as hot as it has been in the UK over the last few days, early this week. But yeah, it's still hot and also very busy. We're into the summer holidays now in Orlando. At Walt Disney World, probably the big thing at the moment is the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival, which is on. I'm not going to get to go to the Food and Wine Festival. It's on to like the end of November. I'm not going to be going, but it hasn't stopped me looking at all the menus and watching every vlog. I'm kind of obsessed. And also as well, to go with that, you've got the Eat to the Beat concert series with loads of stars performing at Epcot over the next few months. The nearest ones, you got Taylor Dane, Tell It to My Heart, 29th and 30th of July. Tiffany is going to be performing there August the 1st, July the 31st. Loads of others as well over the coming weeks and months, from Christopher Cross to Air Supply to Joey Fatone. Also as well, if you're going over the next few weeks, Michael Bublé is going to be in Orlando as well. He's on a big American tour at the minute. If you want to see Michael Bublé and you're in Orlando on the 10th of August, he plays the Amway Center. The top tip for this episode is about rain. Yeah, it's going to rain in Orlando, especially if you're going now. This is what I found. Save your shopping. Don't go shopping. If it's not raining, don't go shopping. If there is a big storm coming, that is the time to head to the shops, because, you know, especially in Magic Kingdom, you can walk and you can spend hours in the shops, and they're all one big long shop. They're all connected. So as soon as the heavens open, be near the shops. That's when you need to do the shopping. Yes, it is going to be busy in there, but I mean, what else are you going to do for an hour when it's raining? Don't just go in there to buy a poncho. Obviously, top tip number 2, take your own ponchos. I bought ponchos in the UK from Home Bargains for like £1.50. Why pay Disney prices when you can take your own poncho with you? You'll probably need it. There's your top tip. Any tips? Do share them on the socials. If you could give us a follow on the socials as well, that would be brilliant. And also, if you could give us 5 stars, especially on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, if that's where you're listening, if you haven't done so, it will really help push the podcast. So if you could just give it 5 stars, you're listening now, just hit 5 stars. Even if you don't think it's worth 5 stars, just give us 5 stars. We'll be thankful. If you could do that, that'd be brilliant. Don't forget to subscribe as well, so you don't miss the podcast. We've got brand new podcasts coming out every other week. Fortnightly podcasts. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. We've got lots more for you to listen back to. We've got 3 years worth of podcasts to go back to. It's like a big box set. In fact, even if you have listened to all the podcasts since the start, it is actually worth going back and listening to some of the older ones where we're talking about fast passes and dining plans. It's quite funny. So do have a listen back. We'll be back with a brand new episode though, and more new guests 2 weeks today. So until then, please stand clear of the doors.